This is an overview on getting to know the GATA Grantee portal and what your responsibility is as an applicant and grantee. The objectives for this session are finding resources in the GATA and ICJIA website, understanding my role as a registered user in the GATA portal and what it means to be compliant, how to read the GATA Grantee portal information, how to communicate with your grant specialist or with your cognizant agency regarding GATA and the GATA Grantee portal, and responsibilities related to audit. This is a QR code which links to the Grant Accountability and Transparency Act website. You could use the QR code to visit the GATA website. What is your role within the GATA Grantee portal? In this video, we will reference a PDF document found in the GATA website called the Responsibility Grid. We are also going to go through the GATA Grantee portal and understand the difference between a grantee contact and grantee portal access, and who you should ask for assistance when you need help in the GATA Grantee portal. Let's start with the GATA website and how to locate the Responsibility Grid. You find the Responsibility Grid in the GATA website. On the GATA homepage, in the ribbon, click on Resource Library. The Resource Library is where you can find information and templates. When you click on Resource Library, you will see the Responsibility Grid under Spring 2018 Training Presentations for Fiscal Year 19. Although the Responsibility Grid is dated Fiscal Year 19, the grid provides helpful information regarding responsibilities for various parts of GATA and the Grantee portal. As we look at sections of the Responsibility Grid, you will see that it is divided into various sections. It identifies the section related to the GATA portal. It also explains the responsibilities as they pertain to the Grant Accountability and Transparency Unit and the corresponding work groups within that area. There's another column for the state awarding agency's responsibilities. This is the agency that awards grants and posts a notice of funding opportunity. The next column is the state cognizant agency. There is often confusion about who is your state cognizant agency and their role. This chart specifically identifies the role the cognizant agency plays and their responsibility. The last column is grantee role. What are your responsibilities as the applicant or grantee as they pertain to the GATA Grantee portal? Down this column, it identifies what you should be doing. One thing to always keep in mind is that the role and responsibility for you as a grantee is the same for every state award. When you register in the GATA Grantee portal, be sure that you meet all pre-qualification requirements. What does it mean to be pre-qualified? For pre-qualification, you need to make sure that you maintain your registration with the System for Award Management, otherwise known as SAM.gov. In the GATA Grantee portal, you also want to make sure that you update and verify your Federal Employee Identification Number. To access the GATA Grantee portal, log into the Grant Accountability and Transparency website and then, from the GATA homepage, click on Grantee Links. A drop-down menu will appear. Click where it says Grantee Portal. You can learn how to register your organization or new staff in the GATA Grantee portal within this module by watching the video Prepare to Apply. You will learn how to register in the GATA Grantee portal and how to access AmpliFund, the grant management system for your organization. As you go through the GATA Grantee portal, we're going to see where you can find your pre-qualification status and your organization's contacts. Keep in mind that although pre-qualification status is important to maintain good standing, you also want to make sure that your organization's contacts are kept up to date. In the GATA Grantee portal, there are two sections related to staff from your organization: the grantee contacts versus grantee portal access. The grantee contacts do not have to be registered users in the GATA Grantee portal. The grantee portal access identifies who has access to the portal or AmpliFund. Registered grantee portal users can manage alerts and notifications. Once logged into the GATA Grantee portal, click the Manage button, then the Select button next to the user. Although only one person from your agency is required to register as a primary contact for your organization, It is highly recommended that more than one person from your organization have Grantee portal access. To learn how to register and get portal access to staff, you can watch the video Prepare to Apply within this module. When you click the Manage button, you will see how you could identify alerts and notifications from the GATA Grantee portal. The types of alerts can be selected for each staff based on their role and responsibility to the grant award. Identifying grantee contacts. This is a list of staff information that will serve as a directory within the GATA Grantee portal for the state awarding agency. Each organization can list the staff and check their role within the organization. Grantee contacts can be listed in the GATA Grantee portal and not have access to the GATA Grantee portal. Grantee contact information serves as a directory for state awarding agencies when communication is needed regarding the role and responsibility for the grant or grants received by your organization. As you read through the information on the GATA Grantee portal, you want to make sure that you are checking the pre-qualification status. Your pre-qualification status should always be in good standing. You also want to ask yourself, is the information for my agency current? Did people leave your organization who are still identified or listed in the portal? Did new people start in your agency who should be included in the portal? When you're looking for your pre-qualification status within the GATA Grantee portal, you always want to make sure that your organization is in good standing. The requirements for good standing are that you keep your SAM.gov current, that your registration with the Illinois Secretary of State is in good standing, and that you are not listed in the Stop Pay list and the DHFS sanction list. If any of the pre-qualification status requirements fall out of good standing, staff listed in the grantee contacts to receive notifications will be notified via email. To rectify the out of good standing, you can click on the Help button next to that requirement listed to see which agency can help to rectify the issue. If you need more assistance, who should you contact? Your state awarding agency or your cognizant agency? That decision can be made based on the relationship with your grant specialist. If there is a question pertaining to your audit review or internal control questionnaire, it is best to contact the cognizant agency. Always remember that when you are sending an email, it is best to include your GATA ID number. There are times when agencies may have the same or similar names. By using your GATA ID number in the email where you identify an issue, it will be easier to identify the correct agency. If possible, include a screen clip of the issue in the GATA Grantee portal. What type of maintenance is required for the GATA Grantee portal? If you are applying for a grant via a Notice of Funding Information, NOFO, the portal should be checked at the start of your application and then weekly. You want to make sure that all items required in the pre-qualification status are in good standing. If you are a current grant recipient and currently receive grant funds, then you may want to log into the portal quarterly to make sure that your pre-qualification status is in good standing and that your internal control questionnaire, otherwise known as ICQ, is complete. The ICQ should be completed every state fiscal year. Typically, a new ICQ is available for you to complete around April or May. Also, your indirect cost rate selection should be updated based on your agency's fiscal year. The indirect cost rate election can now be made in the GATA Grantee portal. The election is based on your fiscal year. So if your fiscal year is January through December, your organization can make the new indirect cost rate election the following month after your fiscal year ends, in this example, January. If your fiscal year runs from July through June, then you can make your new election in July. Another grantee responsibility is a centralized audit report review. Once again, we refer you to the responsibility grid. The responsibility grid identifies your responsibility as a grantee and what you need to do to complete your audit. For the audit, each organization will need to prepare financial statements and complete the audit certification within 60 days of your fiscal year end date. If your fiscal year ends in June, then the certification and audit requirements should be completed by September. Based on the response to the calendar year end report, known as the cipher, you may need to upload the audit packet based on your audit type. All audit requirements should be completed in the GATA Grantee portal. The image here is part of the Roles and Responsibilities grid. You can see the centralized audit report and your grantee responsibilities. The responsibilities have been identified and delineated within the guide. The audit requirements are often forgotten about and may impact your eligibility for future funding opportunities. Always make sure that your GATA Grantee portal is maintained and in good standing. After you check and see that your agency is in good standing, you can now look for new funding opportunities. There are two ways that you could search for funding opportunities. Module 3, Be Prepared to Apply, will show you how to search for funding opportunities.